Hey guys, it's Tori from Calypso Creative Planning. I've got a brand new spread for you this week on a brand new day of the week. We're going to look at how I took this simple weekly spread and transformed it into this beautifully decorated spread ready to go for the week. So stay tuned to see how it all came together. Okay, so for this weekly spread, I'm working in my Sweet Treats 1 month planner from the brand new collection. And I wanted to combine like these pretty stickers from the Spring Tea Time set from Last Rituals with some from my new Sweet Treats collection. So I thought they would go really pretty together, so that's why I decided that was like going to be my theme for this week. And I'm starting out with just a blank, just block of color. And the reason why I crop down the edges is because when you stretch it out way past the original size, if you don't crop down those edges, it gets kind of like fuzzy around the edges. And I don't want that, so crop it down. And this is a mini calendar that I customize using colors in Procreate so that I get like this fun like wash of color on it. So that was just a really simple thing where I took the original mini calendar, painted over it in Procreate, and made it my own. So there's that. And then to label it as a well, technically this was June for most of this week. So I used one of my paper note sets. Now here's the trick. If you're using the image tool and there's an image layered over a link in your planner, it doesn't let you select it. So that's why I have to move this off to the side, because that little mini calendar graphic, I guess you could call it, on the page is linked to the monthly page. So because it's like layered on top, it doesn't let you select it with the image tool. I swear, I don't think it used to be like that. I think that's like a new thing. It can be annoying if you're layering a sticker like a mini calendar over a linked mini calendar. I guess that's the easiest way to say it, but I don't know what the deal is with that. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, so I felt like the Spring Tea Time set would go really good with the colors, with the pinks and purples and blues of the Sweet Treat set. So that's where I was going with it. And when I started this spread, I really had no plan other than I wanted to use these two sets together, like the functional pieces of the Sweet Treats with the decorative pieces of the Tea Time stickers. And I just thought that would be, really pretty. And I decided to cover up that goals section at the top of the page just because I wanted more decoration. And this cute little teapot, I didn't know where I wanted to stick it, but that's okay. With digital planning, you don't have to worry about like putting a sticker down and it not being in the exact spot. It's not going to rip your page like paper planning. So it's okay to just like stick it on there and then figure out where it goes later. So that's kind of what I did. I just knew that I wanted to use some of these pieces, so I just was kind of like sticking them on in like the roundabout possible area until I could just kind of play with it and just have fun and just like figure out as I load them on here where I want them to go. So that's kind of what I was going for here. I just love this color combo, and I just think they go really well together. And these stickers have like these little flecks of like gold and rose gold to them, and I just think they're really pretty. So I just love this color scheme. I think that her shop right now is closed for the time being. I'm sure she'll open it again because she does amazing work. But check it. The links will be in the description. If her shop is not open now, I'm sure she'll open it again, and this will be there, because it's just a fantastic set. I've got several from her, and they're just really pretty. Okay, so now's the time I want to date this weekly spread. So I thought I would use these little blue flags, I guess you would call them, for my numbers, because I wanted to pull in that dark blue that I used up at the top, because I like to balance out the colors across the spread. And I started putting these numbers on here, and then at first I realized, okay, I missed one. And then as I started sizing them and putting them on, I realized, okay, wait, June only has 30 days, not 31. So I got to take that off and pull in another date. But, once again, it's digital planning. We don't have to be perfect, and we don't have to worry about stickers messing up our pages because we have to move them. So that is like one of my favorite parts about digital planning, is just because you put it there doesn't mean it has to stay there, right? Does anyone else love that about digital planning? I do. I really, really, really do. Okay, so, all right, so layering up stuff up at the top, sizing this. This is where the grid, the very light grid in the background of these pages comes in really handy, because I can size all these numbers up to align with the grid, and I don't have to worry about selecting more, like all of them on time and trying to resize them, and then GoodNotes making things go crooked, because we all know by now that happens, and it's very, very annoying. So this is where I realized, hey, wait, there's not 31 days. And I was like, wait, no, got to get rid of that. Okay. But this light grid, it just is really handy for lining things up, not just in like rows, but sectioning off different areas of your spreads. Like, for instance, the spread that I'm using for this week, this current spread is for last week, but the one that I'm doing in my planner this week, I actually use the grid to section off like a colored area just for like appointments and social media content that goes out. So it's like I blocked it off using the grid because I can align with it. So I really like using this grid. I've done some planners that have like these same setup, but without the grid, so that it's like, I guess, a little more free flowing if you want that. But I don't know, I keep going back to the grid. I just really like it. So here's where I couldn't decide what block I wanted to use and where, but in the end went with this one. I thought that using this solid color block would be like a really fun way to create my own headers and have it like be pretty and not boring. So I'm using this font. This is my Ashland font, and you can find it in the shop. It matches the stickers in this sticker book, in the Sweet Treats sticker book, and in the planner. So if you're looking for a font to match, I went with this. I just really like this font. It was fun to create too. So here I'm adjusting the line spacing as I adjust the size, so that it changes the shape of the box, and like it's not as noticeable if you're just using one line of text, but sometimes it annoys me when you click on the text box and you can't see the top of the text because of the line spacing. And I don't know why it does that, because when you like get out of the box, you can see it all again. I don't know. I feel like that might be a GoodNotes glitch. I'm not really sure. But anyway, so this is just a fun way to create your own headers by using just a solid color box and layering on your text. It gives you the opportunity to change the font that you're using, because this has like a very generic font in the planner that's not on the headers, but this allows you to, add something that's a little more fun. And since I didn't want to resize that again, I can just copy that one above to down below and change the font. I mean, not the font, the text. It sounds like that's the same thing, but it's not. There's a difference. But see how like it just gives you that pop of color and like gives you something different, a little more interesting, And then these cute little flowers. I just love these. And I kind of wanted just the top to just be like full on decoration. And I used some of these blank boxes, and you'll see me use it in a couple places here, like I'm pulling in one now. And when I put them on here, I really had no idea what I wanted to use those for, but I like to use those just in case I want to add an extra note, or in case I want to throw a quote sticker, which is what I ended up doing. If you stick around to the end of this video, you'll see how this weekly spread looked at the end of the week, which is so cool with all the notes on there. Love that. But sprinkling in these boxes just gives you kind of opportunity to either decorate or add notes. You can take it either way. So I just like using those. And this is the fun little decorative page in the big sticker book. I went with a painted, painted aspect, painted theme, whatever you want to call it, because I painted all these stickers to go in the sticker book. So I thought having little decorative painted elements would be really fun to go along with it. So that's what that page is about. And just layering on some more flowers. I love these flowers. I like sprinkling them in throughout the spread, and I hate it when that happens. Do you guys do that? I know it's not just me. You go to resize a sticker and it ends up squishing it to just like you can't even tell what it was. Hate that. So annoying. So annoying. So you can see the stickers at the top are starting to come together. A little bit of decorative thing here. And I decided I wanted more of this pinky purple color in like a bigger way. So I'm going to do that same thing as I did along the side. I'm going to bring this in, crop down those edges so I know that I have like crisp, clean edges. And then I'm just going to color block this whole section here. And then of course we've just got to cut and paste to bring these florals back on top. If you're using Note Shelf, you can just tell it to bring to the front. I'm fingers crossed, still waiting for GoodNotes to add that feature, because that would just be so handy. That's one feature I wish that I could have from Note Shelf in GoodNotes. If we could just get these two apps to just communicate and do the same thing, that would be great. I mean, I suppose they can't do the same thing because, then what would be the point of having two different apps? But I don't know. I just wish I could combine my favorite pieces from each of these apps. Like the ability to squish images and stretch images that GoodNotes has, with the ability to bring to the front or send to the back that Note Shelf has. I don't know. I still keep coming back to GoodNotes. I like Note Shelf, all right, but I got frustrated with the text tool not working the way that I wanted it to. It just annoyed me. So I came back to GoodNotes. I just can't leave GoodNotes alone. It's just so good. It's simple and it's handy. One of these days, I keep saying that I'll check out Zoom Notes because I've heard some great things about it, but it just seems like it's more complicated than what I need. Not that it's so complicated that I couldn't figure it out, but it seems like it has features that I don't need and don't use. But maybe I don't use them because I don't have them. I don't know. If you guys have any, input on the whole Zoom Notes thing, let me know. And then there's Zinnia. I know people are really into Zinnia these days, but I don't know. The last time I looked into Zinnia, it was still, a subscription thing, which I think it still is. But two, you couldn't import linked PDFs like a PDF planner, like this planner. You couldn't do that. I think you can now, but I don't know for sure. So if you guys know, is Zinnia worth it? Should I look into that? Do you guys want to see me look into that? I don't know if you care. So just let me know. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like everything's in GoodNotes. Can you pull stickers from GoodNotes into Zinnia like you can pulling from GoodNotes into Note Shelf? That would be a big deal for me, because I'm not one of those people that uses like just the images, like I use the GoodNotes sticker book. And maybe that's because I spend so much time designing my sticker books and loading my sticker books full of stickers that it just seems like, why would I use the images if like I've gone to all this effort to design and create the sticker books, that it, I don't know. And then I know, I mean, other shops, they have GoodNotes sets, like they've taken the time. So it's like, why not use those? I don't know. For me, it's handy because I can like have like a better view of the stickers. And I know this has gone on to like a ramble, but it happens. You should be used to it by now. But like, if I'm looking at the images and pulling them in, you get just like a little thumbnail. Okay, I'll stop my rant so I can talk about this. This is my sample text. You can get this as a freebie in my Facebook group. It is a really fun way to throw in like areas of text when you're laying out a spread and you're planning what you want to go where. This is really handy for using that. I did a Reels video over on my Instagram the other day showing how I use this, but here you can see it again. It's just a really handy way where I can lay out like, hey, I want my notes to go here. This could be like a little journaling section, or it could be like just placeholder for whatever. I end up using it a little bit differently than this at the end of the week, but it's just, the sample text is really great for, you know, your text formatting is already there, the color, the size, everything, but it's just placeholder text. And then when you go to use it, you just select the text and like type or scribble out your actual notes, and it's just like really handy placeholder. I just love it. But okay, should I go back to my ramble? Maybe I should. Okay, let me go back to my ramble for just a minute, because we were talking about, like you guys were like talking with me, and it's just me talking to myself essentially right now. But like, if I'm pulling, you know, if I've got like the side-by-side thing going on, I've got like Dropbox or OneDrive or whatever up on the side where I'm pulling in my images, you can't see the whole image. If it's, you know, depending on what the sticker is, it may be just like a little, you know, just like a partial thing. You know, sometimes you can see the whole image, sometimes you can't. It depends on what you're looking at. But it just, like, it doesn't have the same feeling to me as seeing the whole thing together with the other stickers. And like, so I just don't like it. I know a lot of people do it. I know that a bunch of the girls on my PR team, they prefer to work with just the images and not the GoodNotes file at all. You know, so I know people do that, but I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So I would love to hear your feedback on that. You know, like let's chat about that, because what is your preference? Do you like the GoodNotes files? Is it, you know, do you never use them because you don't even use GoodNotes, you use another app? Or do you just prefer the images? I don't know. This is my tangent for this episode, because that's just like, I just personally don't get it. It doesn't work for me. But, you know, that's the beauty of, you know, planning, because we don't all have to be the same. We don't all have to work the same. We can all use the same exact stickers and get completely different looks. You know, like that's the beauty of being, you know, unique. And that's what we are. We are unique. We are all our own. But that's just something I don't get. I just don't get it. It doesn't work for me. But, you know, it is what it is. Whatever works for you. That's all that really matters. But, yeah. Okay. All right. Tangent over. That's all I got on that for now. We'll see. All right. So, where are we at in this spread? So, I've used my little semi-transparent boxes to create little headers, little reminders, whatever you want to call them, of some of my social media content that goes out on these days. And then I use boxes for these wouldn't be appointments. These would just be like release reminders that are going up. And then now this is my little box for book releases from this particular week. There were 2 books that I had been waiting on that came out this week, And since I'm in the middle of another series, I haven't even started reading these yet, but I was hoping to get to them this week. Didn't happen. But this is my little trick for having like a different look, because I needed a bigger box than like those small ones over there that you see on the right. I needed a bigger box, but then I didn't necessarily need the whole box, because then it was just like empty space. And then what am I going to do with that? Like I could put a sticker on it or something. But so I decided, let's resize this, crop it down. So it's just kind of like tucked down there at the bottom of this little day. And I think that works, right? It's just, you guys know by now, I love to crop these stickers down and use them in different ways. So this is another way that you can do this, where you need a slightly bigger box. You don't need the whole box. You just crop it down. Yes, you can squish it. That is another thing you can do. But if you squish it with the size of this box, then it's going to be like the proportions of the box are not going to be the same. So that is why I decided to crop it instead of squishing it. But you can do whatever works. I just didn't want to squish it. And this day was my nephew's birthday, so I had to include that on my little calendar. And I don't know why, when I told it to replace that text, I don't know why it's just like, hey, we're just going to ignore this S. Like, we're just going to leave an extra S there. Don't worry, I'll get it. It's fine. I'll get it. But since this was his birthday, I had to include that, of course, and I wanted to layer it up. And I played around with this stupid box so many times, and then I ended up covering up the end of it because I wanted something birthday related to go along with it. So this is my blush and navy birthday sticker book. So I wanted something like birthday-ish to go with it, and I decided on balloons because, birthday balloons, and I thought it would work with this. And so I played around with like where to put it. Do I want it little? Do I want it big? And in the end, I decided, let's do my little croppy thing, because I just love doing that so much. I don't know why. It just works for me, works for my style. So I cropped off some of the edges so I could tuck it up next to the edges of this box, and it fits. And then I was like, well, what was the point of me moving this other box all the way around, because I covered up the ends? It still works. It's fine. It's fine. It looks good. I like it. And then I needed another box here, because I looked at my calendar and I realized I had a meeting this day, and I ended up having like multiple meetings that came up after the fact that I ended up not even adding to my planner. It just ended up on my Google Calendar, because they turned out to be like impromptu meetings that happened, like, hey, clients in the area, let's just show up. So, that happened. But I ended up with like more notes than could fit on some of these days. So I didn't even worry about fitting them in. I was just like, it's okay. It happened. Move on. So, yeah. And since I wanted to pull in some more of that dark blue, because I threw in little pops here and there, I thought this would be a fun way. I'm using the shape tool to just draw out a rectangle, and then I can use the grips to adjust it to essentially outline these boxes. And you can see how big of a difference it makes when you have these outlines. Just a little bit of extra color, and it just gives you like this whole different look. And the grips, oh, I'm so glad they added that feature, because it's just so handy having those grips, because you can just move them. You don't have to be like, oh, it's going to be perfect on the first try, and then, oh, it's not. Let's fix it and do it again. And no, you just draw it and then resize it, and you're done. So simple. So, and yes, I do realize that there was not an apostrophe S on weeks, but it's okay. I fixed that later, because I'm not perfect, but that is fine. And just a little tweaking here and there to get this good. Oh, I just love all these colors together. I think they're so pretty. So pretty. And I love little pops of glitter, because you guys know I love me some glitter. So I've got some glitter sprinkled out on the stickers, and I wish now that I had just sprinkled in some other glitter. Oh, look, more glitter. Oh, this is where I decided I needed a note as a reminder because the newest episodes of Stranger Things was coming out on this day and I didn't want to miss it. It was like me and the hubby planned out date night because if you listen to my, catch up chit chat video from the other day when we had our little staycation, we watched all the episodes of Stranger Things from the very beginning. And so we were like all caught up and had to watch, part 2 of this newest season. And so here I decided let's adjust the line spacing because I wanted it a little bit closer together. And I just like the look of it. And if you have that number, like I'm looking at the number here and I went with 52. So I knew that, 52 is the same spacing that I liked over and over again. So 52 it is. That line spacing is so handy when you're trying to do multiple lines of text and you want it to fit on your actual lines on your page. So freaking handy. Love that. Okay, so this is it. This is the spread. I decided to go back and add a piece of highlighter for my book releases, but this is it and I love it and it's so pretty. And I have a look for the end of the week. So this is how it started out. And then this is how it all came together. I threw in some extra quotes from a Lux book freebie, and it's just full of notes and really lovely and looks super productive. All right, that's it. I'm out. Bye, guys. See you next time.